Hello. Are we live?
Hello.
I don't know. I'm not seeing anything come through. Can you see my stream? Do you have the URL to the stream?
No.
Let me send you a
I
URL.
get it. Let's see.
Nothing.
Twitch. Let's go to Twitch. Look up.
Broadcasting. Apparently, we're broadcasting.
What? Who? What's your name?
Chewbacca with an extra A. Oh! I see us. But I can't hear us.
Chewbacca.
Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, we were muted. But I can't hear us.
Chewbacca.
There we go. Yeah. Wait,
hold
on. Oh, we were muted. But I can't hear us.
Chewbacca.
There we go. Yeah.
Alex, were you streaming yourself playing games?
There we go.
Or is this another?
Alex,
oh no, that's
streaming
yourself playing games.
There we go. Okay, I can hear both.
All right. Okay. So
the echo is so confusing. It always throws me. How do I lay this out? What do we usually do? I have your face here. I have my face there. Can I put our faces side to side? Last time our faces was equally portioned, but now you have a big face.
If you get them close enough, we can go like and have a little kiss.
Oh wait, hold on. Let's try this. Wait, so if I do this. Oh wait, hold on. I need to move my head.
I can't see it, so
wait, me. I can't. Oh, my things are locked in place now, and we're streaming.
Oh, okay. Well,
maybe this can work.
Maybe next time.
That's not gonna work. Okay, next time. Okay, now we are actually starting. This is stream number 3 of Godot Dev Chat with Tech Boy. I feel like we should have a better title for this. We should have a. I don't know. It's a working title.
I'm going to tell because I think we're getting into this a bit now. I'm actually thinking I might get Alice to mention it, and then we might actually get quite a few people come and watch.
Okay, that'd be cool.
Probably just it'll be a load of people just coming to ask questions about Alice, but
I feel like it might overwhelm us.
Probably.
Right. What I'm doing this time round, you can't see, but I'm setting a timer so we don't overrun. So you don't hog the limelight.
We're doing your one today, so
okay. I mean, I think you should still share your stuff, but you got to run off in about 45 minutes, anyways, right? So it's gonna be a slightly shorter stream.
Possibly, we'll see.
Okay. Well, anyways, I'm gonna do my best to stick to 25 minutes because I respect your time.
Oh, okay. I don't respect yours.
Okay. I think I'll always go first because I don't blabber on. I run out of things to say as well, so you're gonna have to ask me questions because I just.
All right, I can do like a co-host thing.
Well, we take turns, right? I should probably share my screen so you can see what I'm saying. Should I share my entire screen?
Yes. Oh, I don't know. I just want to see the code. Show me the code, man.
Show me the code. Show me the code. Oh, should I? Okay, yeah, that's actually a good idea. I'll share it on this screen, and then. Can you go into the stream to make sure my screen is being shared on the stream?
Well, I don't have your. I can't find you. I don't know how to spell.
It's just Chewbacca with an extra A.
Oh, I found it.
Okay.
This says that you have 0 followers.
Well, that's not me then, is it?
It's called Chewbacca. I can't spell. Why can't you tell me how to spell it?
Maybe.
It's Chew, CHRU, my surname.
You shouldn't.
B-A.
It's time to get nice.
CHRU. Oh, I got it.
B-A-C-A-A.
You shouldn't.
It's got my face. Well, it's too late now. It's live on the interwebs. I don't care.
Oh my god, the echo.
It's really disorientating, isn't it?
Yeah, I just muted it. Okay, I can see.
Okay.
Twitch.
Okay, you can see Twitch. Okay.
Yeah,
But you
and I
can't.
can see, and I could. What is this? What is this mess?
I don't. Oh, wait. Okay. Am I sharing my screen? Can you see my projects? Nightman.
I can see, like the window. Well, for one thing, I could see. I could just see Twitch. I could see
You,
you watching the Twitch stream. Like it's got the comments at the bottom.
good.
Oh, right.
But
Oh, that's your head. Yeah. Oh, and then okay, now I can see
are we
myself
good?
and you, and yeah, but there's two of you.
There's two of me. Oh, okay. Wait. Let me configure that. We one day
This is a third try, and you still are just like, oh, I'm gonna
you
try
made
something
me
new.
rush into this stream without any preparation. I'm so disoriented. I had a very stressful day at work. Everything was
Oh, I'm
going
sorry.
wrong. I'm very flustered. Okay.
Oh, all right. Okay, I'll give you a break then.
Okay. Are we looking good? So you should be seeing your face and my face with a screen share.
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
Okay, good. All right.
Okay,
Let's talk
all
about.
right.
You know what we should do? We should do intros. I'm Chewbacca, and you are.
I'm Tech Boy, but I'm just gonna yeah. You can already see my flipping name. It's just there.
And
So
I just think
I'm
it's
just
important.
Dan.
I think it's important we just set the context of what we're doing again. So we are learning Godot to try to build
Yeah.
a game eventually, and
Yes.
we've been sharing our progress. This is the third week of us sharing our progress, and we've been trying to create some sort of like I've been calling it 2.5D, but I don't know if that's the right term, but a 3D slasher kind of thing where enemies can hit you and you can hit enemies. Um, I need to make that description more succinct because I always have trouble explaining what I'm trying to build when people ask me. Can you?
I mean, it's basically it's a 3D game with sprites.
Okay,
Just to,
a 3D game, but that's so generic. It's like, what's the genre?
well, I mean, I guess for this like starting project, it's it's like an action role play, ARPG sort of style game.
A RPG kind of game. Anyways, let's start with actually what my game looks like.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
Wow. Oh,
it got
yeah,
a bit
that's
of
neat.
got a little bit of camera movement,
Yeah.
and if I get too close to my enemies,
Oh,
did you
oh,
hear
you
that?
took damage. I didn't.
He's going ow. So my collision boxes are an absolute mess. So if I get too close to this enemy, I actually like my collision box actually came into effect, and I'm actually hitting him. But
Oh, what with your damage?
with my hitbox, I mean, actually,
Well,
let me show you.
why don't you set your hitbox's damage to 0 when it's not being used?
I did do that, but I was debugging and I turned it off. Okay, so look at the
Uh,
mess of my collision boxes.
wow, how are you doing that?
So we have an area 3D, which is the inner thing. Oh, there's a little
Yeah.
button on the top of Godot. You can go debug and you go visible collision shapes.
Wow, that's so useful.
It's so handy, honestly. Yeah. Sorry,
I've
back to
literally
game.
been attaching. I've been attaching Mesh 3Ds to all of my
You
boxes to see them.
you're a fucking noob. That's why. Anyways, yeah. Let me explain this mess, this monstrosity that's happening. So the inner square is the area 3D. The the inner cube is the hitbox, and the wider box is the hurt. Wait, hold on. It's a hurt box, I think. Yeah. So if you look at my character, I haven't implemented fancy rotation like you, but hopefully you can see it. It's a very similar thing. I've got a long sausage shape, which is my hitbox, and also hurtbox. They're kind of overlaying each other, and I'm not sure if you can see the actual polygon square over here. Can you see?
Why does it come out so slow?
Because I haven't got the timing right. Um, but that's supposed to simulate him kind of like slashing his sword. So it's like whoosh. Um, yeah, this is what we get for doing combining sprites with an area 3D.
But
Um,
why?
uh,
I think because I
I
do not have this
think
problem.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll be very interested to see your hitbox and hurtbox. So, have you been able to tween your hitboxes in a more sophisticated way?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I'll be interested to see that. Um, Anyway, yeah, this was just a massive hack because before it was just a static hitbox, and if you got too close, you were hitting him. So it's kind of like, hey,
Meow, meow, meow,
Well,
meow.
okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it works, and actually, it is the exact same approach that I've used, but like done way
Meow.
worse.
Meow,
yeah,
meow.
okay. Um, this is basically where I got to. Yeah, like I said, I told you to temper your expectations. You're like, I can't wait to see your work. Um,
No, well, no, I want to see like your how you've been writing. Like,
oh yeah, sure, yeah. Let's actually look at my code.
yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I mean, it looks great. Like,
Yeah,
I
I really like the camera.
I
The
was
cam-
I was I was confused about like the sizes of the hitbox and hurtbox, but it makes sense because I guess you were trying to make it so that you couldn't just walk in to do damage by having the
yeah,
hurtbox larger than the hitbox. But
yeah. I should probably make
but
the hitbox
you
0 or just completely shapeless or something, and then
well,
only
if it's
instantiate it.
yeah, just have it. You can't have it 0. It'll break the game if it's 0.
Can I just like, oh, can
Yeah,
I
if you
just,
scale
I
it
don't know.
to
Yeah, I don't know.
if you
There's lots of
scale
ways
it,
around this, right? I took a
yeah,
very crude approach, as you can see. Anyways, I'm just like,
Meow.
just gonna beat this. Oh no,
yeah,
there we
beat
go.
it.
Anyway, um, yeah, there we go. That's my game. Do you think this is gonna sell millions? Um,
I think it's got legs, man.
okay. So, like I say, I haven't looked at this for about 3 days, so I can't remember what's going on. I haven't used fancy instancing. I've just got these enemies just there statically, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. Let's look at Nightman. Nightman's fun. Should we talk about state machines again?
Yeah, show
We
me a
spent
state
we
machine.
spent a lot of time talking about state machines last time. So my implementation is inspired by. I'm just gonna share this
Make this
video.
full screen so that I can see it.
Hey, it's Ice, and in
Hi everyone.
No.
Here's an updated look at how I like to do state.
Oh yeah, this is good.
Here's an updated look at how I like to do state machines in Godot 4. I'm going to go over some simpler starter techniques today just to get you off the ground, and in the next video I'll go in depth about techniques.
Okay, here we go. This I was inspired by. I looked at about 5 different state machine implementations, and I really like this one. This is made by some guy called Shaggy Dev. He very kindly shared his source code as well on GitHub. And the reason why I like this approach a lot is because he's made it in a way that is very Godot-y, is the only way I can explain it.
Right.
Actually, let's just look at my code. So let's see if I can remember how this works. Okay, we have 2 classes. We have a state node, which is basically this. This looks very similar to yours, right? So we have a little handler for when you're entering your state and an exit, and these are just simply pass-throughs that you put on to each of your. Okay, wait, hold on. Got to go back a bit. We're going to go actually look at the state machine implementation, and this comes from state machine, and this is my state machine script. How do I open that? State machine script. How do I open that? Okay. Is this it? No, that's not it. How do I open this file? Is this it? That is it. State machine. Okay, yeah, this is it. Yeah. Let's make this a bit bigger. And I think this is very, very clever that we can create these state classes, which are these little state nodes here. And in each of these state nodes, you can define which states you can transition into. So it's very explicit it's very explicit. It's very explicitly like in the code to say from a running state, you can only go into an idle state, for example. And what I've realized is it makes all of your code much more explicit, is kind of what I'm trying to say. When I had all my code in one spaghetti file, things were working in a way that I wanted to, but it wasn't necessarily explicit in the code. It was just kind of like working as a byproduct, if that makes sense. So in my current implementation, I can't run and hit, if that makes sense. But in my old spaghetti
because in the running state doesn't have a
yeah. Anyways, so this definition is just basically handling when those state classes kind of enter and start. I think this is the most important bit. If it is the current state, wait, hold on. How does this work again? Okay, yeah. So we initialize our state machine. We actually pass the whole instance of our player. And this is what I was talking to you about. So like just pass the whole instance down. So in each of our state nodes, they have direct control over the parent.
Okay.
So if I look at, say, my attack.
So why is the but they have direct control over the
so this is my attack node, and this so this is the parent, and this is my Nightman. So this is my character 3D that has access to.
Yeah.
And so that means I can co-locate all of my state up here. So here's my hitbox, and when I'm attacking, I'm doing my very hacky thing. Wait, so there's my attack script. So this is what I'm doing. I'm scaling my Z value with like just some constant with the delta, and that is the process that kind of just makes it expand a little bit. Yes, it's horrible, but it works. But this is an example of how my state node is kind of controlling like functions directly of Nightman. This is, I think this is interesting, right? So what I'm doing here, I'm exporting out state, and state has to conform to this. So all of these nodes conform to my state class. And this is the thing that I thought was really cool. So if I go to this node here, go to my inspector, I can define what that idle state actually is. So if I reset that, I could like mistakenly like put that in there, but I don't want that. And so that means all I need to do, once I want to go back to my idle state, we just have a bit of function here that is, let's go back to over here, attack. So once my animation starts playing, then I return into this class. And then it's the purpose of the state machine at the top to orchestrate the exiting of this function, of this node, and the entering of my idle state. Does that make sense? Yeah. I mean, you know what it is. And it was just a very simple implementation of a state machine, and it just made sense. Like, no signals required, which is what I liked. We've already had a very contentious kind of debate whether we need signals or not. But yeah, signals is completely optional in this implementation.
Yeah.
Let me show you this.
I'm a bit surprised that you have a script on Nightman that has all this stuff going on.
Okay,
This seems very like non-composition-y to me.
So this is all pass-throughs. These are all pass-throughs. So Oh, actually, you're talking about these variables. Yeah, let's come back to that in a minute. So when our Nightman instantiates, what I'm doing is I'm setting up the state machine. I'm passing this class into it, so all of my nodes get access to it, and then unhandled input goes into process input. Physics input goes into process physics. And let's remind ourselves what this actually is. So this is also a pass-through, and this goes into each of my nodes. So then each of my nodes has direct access to the process physics, the unhandled input, the frames, and it's up to those handlers to change states if they want to, if that makes sense. So let's go back to Nightman.
Wait. So the state machine only changes state.
Yes.
And that's not. But then
it orchestrates the handler functions in each of the state nodes. So if a state class was to change, then it knows to run exit and then start enter on the one that's transitioning to.
It's the player node that actually runs everything.
It's not the player node that runs everything. The functionality of what the say attack should actually do is within the concerns of my attack state machine.
Yeah, but then the state machine just says, okay, we're in the attacking state. Take this function from attack, pass it to Nightman.
So if I'm in my attacking state, suddenly I have access. Suddenly I'm now listening to my process inputs. Let's have a look at attack now. Attack. What am I doing? I can't remember how this works. Oh yeah. So from the idle state. Oh yeah. Okay, that was it. I think this is actually wrong the way I've done this, but okay. So from my idle state, if you've pressed something, if you press the attack button, then we start the attack state. So we go into our attack state. And what should the attack state actually do? It should actually run the attack animation. And it then does that horrible scaling of my hitbox to actually start the hitting. And then once the animation's stopped, then the attack state's finished. And then we go back into the idle state. And then we're back into the script again. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like this.
Okay.
And the biggest reason is that the player node runs first.
Mm-hmm.
So on a frame that you press jump, you won't jump until the next frame. Because your state machine won't update your player node until it's executed, which is at the bottom of the bottom of the node tree.
Let's think about that. Okay, so Nightman starts state machine. Okay, all inputs are now delegated to your default state, and the default state is idle. I can't remember where I actually declare that.
Oh no, maybe I'm wrong.
Okay, the default state is now idle. Okay, so now the whole world lives in idle, the state node. Okay, so
you're right. I was overthinking it.
Yeah, I don't know about one frame off. I mean, even if it was one frame off.
No, it isn't. It isn't. That's dumb.
Yeah, so it's now the duty of the state node you're in to say, what state should I go to next based on what inputs? So here, I'm basically saying if I'm moving left, right, or back, then I should go into this run state. And this is what I was saying about it being implicit and explicit. So if I'm running, it's actually impossible for me to run the attack state unless I'm explicitly saying it I explicitly code it into my run script, which is good, I think. So what I can do real quick is if I just detach this, detach script, and then I'll reattach my old Nightman old. There's a lot of features in here that I actually liked. So I go back to main.
I have a question.
One sec, yeah. So I can like slide and attack, but this is actually that's actually terrible. But I was like, I missed that. I missed being able to attack and slide. And what else was what else was it? This?
Ow.
Oh no, I fixed it. Okay, yeah, no, I thought I had the bug still where one hit would just go up to 1,000. I definitely, yeah, I fixed that. But sorry, yeah, what was your question?
How would you handle, for instance, you are in you're in any state, and you take damage, and you want to play a hurt animation.
I say that again, sorry.
So, his challenge: you say you want Nightman to change into a hurt state from any existing state. How would you do that?
Interesting. So hurt isn't a state at the moment because
yeah, but say you had a hurt state.
Okay.
How would you get it so that?
Why would you need a hurt state? Like, because you want to freeze the player completely or something, or they get
Yeah, you want them
something.
to. You want them to go. Ow!
Yeah. Okay,
like,
that makes
like
sense.
A little flinch.
Okay.
How would you...
So sorry, I missed the question again. So they're in a hurt state, and what do they need to do?
No, they're in. Like they're idle. Yeah, like you want them to, when they take damage, always go into a hurt state. A hypothetical hurt state that doesn't exist.
I think I know where you're going with this, and you're going to make me say signals, aren't you? Actually, I think Hurtbox. My Hurtbox and Hitbox have to be powered by signals because of what I was saying privately to you. When you're communicating with another entity, say my player, that is like the perfect time to be using signals. So I can't even remember how my Hitbox works at this stage.
But that's what I mean. Like, say you, yeah, okay, good, go on. Yeah.
How does my Hurtbox work at the moment? Let's see. Oh, I think I've coded this in a really jank way where, okay, so yeah, okay. So yeah, no, this is wrong the way I've done this. So I've got health. I've got health down here.
Yeah.
This is not. This health should be a variable of character, but it's not. It's a global variable, which I haven't talked about in my HUD. So this is the wrong place. This is bad the way I've done it. So in my HUD is aware. Oh damn! I've used up my 25 minutes. My HUD is aware of my health. So that's the first thing I'd have to correct. I'd have to move this health back into my character. And this HUD is also aware of reducing my player's health and also adding points. So I would have to move this logic into one of my nodes. But
no, I think you're going a bit like deep in thingy. Like, how would you? Would like the situation is this: you're looking at your implementation of a state machine. You want it. You've decided that you want from any state, on the player taking damage, to transition to a hurt state. Would you go into each? Would you go into each of your individual states and make sure that there's something that signals it to go over?
In this current implementation, yes, that is the way it would work. I would have to have a hurt state on every single one, and then that would have to be. I would have to have a node here. I have to be very explicit that each of these nodes can receive a hurt state and can transition into hurt state. And that is actually like the fundamental purpose of a state machine, to be explicit where you can transition into next. And yeah, then there'd have to be a bit of logic to say if an enemy went into my collision hurt box, I'm not sure where that would have to sit. It would have to sit. Yeah, I guess each of my nodes would have to receive a signal. Is that right? The answer is I don't know. It's possibly signals. Okay. It's definitely signals, and it would have to receive the signal of something being collided so that each node can transition into my hurt state. Yeah. What I could do, though, because my state machine, it might make sense to move it into this top level state machine.
What, so have it an inherited thing? Oh no! Oh, state machine.
Yeah.
That
all
wouldn't be inherited.
nodes,
that would.
Yeah.
I guess you could have the state machine relay a signal to the current state.
You could also, yeah. I think this another way you could do it is like in this implementation, they've tried to make that state class as generic as possible, but I don't think your state class should be generic for all entities. I think it makes sense to have Snowflake state classes. So you could
mine has that. I have a subclass of state, which is player state.
Sure. Yeah. So you could have another state that can receive, like, has to have a hurt state. And then all nodes would automatically have that hurt state. That will save a bit of time.
I mean, what you have actually is only a player state because you define the parent to be a player node.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good question, though. I could think about that. I need to rewire how hurting and points actually work because they are. Yeah, this is the thing. You can easily put variables in the wrong place.
Do you feel like coding is a bit like sculpting clay sometimes?
It's an interesting analogy. I sometimes feel like it's more like smashing your head against a keyboard, but yeah. It's hard coding full time and then looking at more code. But this feels like writing game dev code feels very different from work code. It definitely feels more like therapeutic in some ways. Anyways, I've talked for probably over 25 minutes. What have you been up to?
I have been rewriting everything I was doing to be composition, like very hard into composition. Before I was like half in it. I was like, I want a little bit of composition or a little bit of inheritance.
All or nothing.
Yeah, but now I'm like, no, full composition, fuck inheritance, unless it's for specific instances like.
I think the trick is to sometimes use inheritance when it makes sense.
Yeah.
But like curl your fingers if you reach for
them
it.
up is like mixing them up is like a nightmare because as soon as you start adding too much inheritance to like, if I like had a really defined like player node and it had all its variables, any node that I wrote that worked with player might not necessarily work with any other controllable entity because it wouldn't necessarily have the same variables to work with.
Yeah, I think if you have a base class that is the crux of your game, you're in trouble.
Yeah. Do you want to see it?
Go on then.
It's like it's not. I'm not. I haven't finished yet, so some things aren't working. Where is Godot? Godot. Where is it? Oh, there you go. Seen it?
Yeah. It's actually good quality.
Okay. Yeah, my my phone internet's way better than my what am I doing? I still don't know how to
Ooh,
use the UI or
shadows.
anything.
I haven't been able to get my shadows to work.
Yeah, they just work automatically. I just put some lights and it made shadows.
Yeah, I haven't got my lighting working properly, but okay.
Yeah, okay.
This actually looks like a level.
I'll show you.
Why
Yeah,
the
I
two
wanted to make it
suns?
so that there were two sets of shadows.
Mm.
So that you can see, because perspective's really hard. I'm actually casting the wrong screen. I can't send something else. Window. Oh, yeah, the game. There's the game.
Ooh.
Now, is the attack working right now? No. Okay, I put in this little dongle. You're like probably wondering what that is. That's checking to see what direction. The character rotation is not working properly right
Is
now.
it as janky on your side as it is on my side? It's very choppy.
It's not choppy like this.
Okay,
no.
cool.
Yeah. The state machine's not working properly. No, the state machine's working, but the
Whee.
yeah, the player sprite rotation thing isn't working right now because I'm trying to do some
So
fancy
is this
vector math with my
game
camera
that
controls.
you've got an idea for? Is it going to have camera controls then? Like you have three
No.
camera controls?
No.
Oh, okay. That's good.
And you're like, why did you do that? Is probably what you're thinking. So you can see, you can't see because nothing comes up, but I've got a hitbox inside the player entity. And when I walk in there, it comes up in my output saying 0 damage, Del. And I'm just going to see if I can make my hitboxes work. Yeah, you see, I got jump. See, I thought this was cool. If you press it once, you do a little hop. If you hold it, you do a high jump.
Nice.
Woo.
Whoa. Whoa. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually quite fun. It feels nice.
Nice. No, you just got to sync it up with some nice sprites, and then that's half the game.
I've got it. It is. It's like I realized having something that looks nice is important. Anyway, let me go back and show you the code. You seeing it?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. Right. I'll show you my player. So you might notice that it's got a lot of nodes going on.
It's nodey.
It's nodey because I'm using composition. My player script, it's got a load of variables here that I don't no longer use, and they're just there while I'm transitioning to keep things working.
So do you keep your variables close to the nodes that actually need it?
They are explicitly in the node that uses it. So,
yeah, that's smart. But then I was like, sometimes you might need them shared, but that's fine to move up.
Yeah, if it's like really important, but I'm exploring various ways of having nodes talk to each other. So like this works. This is, I decided it saves a lot of time because a lot of the time you're working just in 2 dimensions. Like the jump doesn't really matter. Because it's mainly a sort of on the floor game, right? So I've got a node that just provides a load of 2D vectors and stuff to make math simpler. And a lot of my other nodes work from this. So it translates the 3D position to a 2D position, assuming that the height doesn't matter. And I got getters and setters, which I realized you don't actually need because Godot has inbuilt getters and setters.
Yeah, you just define them as variables.
Yeah, you just say get variable and it does it. So you don't need to define it. But it's useful in times like this where I don't need to have a vector3 version of it on hand defined as a variable, so I can just generate it as a function. Yeah, so that's handy.
I think getters can still do that.
Can they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, yeah,
you just write a function on the other end.
I think you can put any arbitrary logic inside a getter function on a variable. So basically exactly what you've done.
Oh, okay. But
think-
whatever, this works and it's fine.
So wait, what
yeah,
is the
anyway.
purpose of direction 2D component?
Literally all it
It's
does.
just a state store.
It's not even a state store. It literally just takes the player's 3D. It's vector 3 for its position, and turns it into a vector 2 and ignores the y-axis.
Oh. Okay.
And because a lot of these, I was using a lot of these variables all over the place, and I was like, if I just do them once, then that's going to save time, and it makes it a lot easier to think about and program. This is a sanity saving measure basically that I'm hoping doesn't backfire.
Okay.
Then yeah, I mean, we already looked at my state machine. It functionally is exactly the same as yours, but instead of but the state machine itself runs everything. It doesn't. The state machine doesn't pass things to the player. The state machine itself runs things, which
Yeah. So
I don't see.
this was my question. How do you control idle can go into jumping?
They're the exact same, literally the exact same way as yours, but instead of, it sends it explicitly when I want it to sends a signal to the state machine when something happens. So it's functionally the exact same as yours, but it signals the state machine as opposed to calling the state machine.
So you have custom signals defined in your state machine.
It only has one signal, which is finished.
Finished. Oh, I see. And that's just. So what is jumping? Is that just a string? Is that an enum?
Jumping references a string in where's player state. Yeah.
Oh, I see. Oh, use enums, man. That's what enums are for.
Enumbers.
Enums. So they're like it's just an object of static strings, which is basically what you're doing here. It's like the perfect data structure for what you're doing here.
Yeah.
So you could have so it gives you an object, so you can go state.idle, and that translates to a string.
Okay, run me through that another time so I know what you're talking about. But yeah, the guy who did the tutorial said that this helps with typos, and I make a lot of typos, so I thought, why not?
Yes. Yeah. That makes sense. Q.
So yeah, if like functionally, it's exactly the same. It is completely explicit. It only changes state exactly when I want it to change state.
Good. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about like a stray signal coming and calling it, because you need to connect signals, right?
So one thing I really liked about my implementation is that you know right at the very top, it basically said this state can either transition into idle or attack. This isn't explicit in saying you can possibly end up into these states. You could still code yourself into a bad state, if that makes sense. You still have to write the code, obviously, to do that, but there's no guardrail there.
That's true, but also in your implementation, you could just like forget to plug in. You could forget to plug it in, and it wouldn't work.
Which actually I have done, and you can actually add in the wrong state as well.
Yeah, so it's like it's like I guess it depends on the type of person you are, which one is less likely to cause a fuck up.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. The fact we even think about state machines, I think we're ahead of the curve, anyways. But yeah, this is like you say, technically the same time. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, what's momentum?
Anyway, I haven't written this yet, but this handles all of the physics. And this is supposed to be at the very bottom because I want it to be last. So all of the states, I've decided I want mine to be momentum based. So the player has a momentum value, and various things happen to the player entity that affect its momentum. Like it could be hit, and it would have its momentum for that frame increased in a direction that it was hit. Running increases its momentum in a frame for a bit. And basically, this is to try and keep maths out of the states. So like I can just say running, add 20, add a vector of length 20 in this direction to the player momentum. And then you go down to the momentum logic, which needs a rewrite. It's all crap. I don't want to look at it.
I hear
and
lots
then
of
that does all the calculations.
I hear a lot of devs talking about inertia. Is that kind of what that is?
Yeah, this is inertia. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can show you it working.
Inertia sounds hard to code.
No, it's dead easy.
Is it? Okay. I'm guessing it's
you just like. Well, no, because right. So you know when you do move and slide.
Yeah.
That uses the entity's velocity, which is it's part of, I don't know, like entity 3D or something. And what that does is it takes the velocity and then it moves your entity by its velocity and then does collisions and whatever. So there's all this under the hood physics in Godot. I've added inertia by literally having a separate
I see.
an extra thing on top called momentum.
So it's like a slight multiplier to your velocity based on how much you have gained. Am I using the right words?
I know it's kind of like a stored velocity.
Right. Yeah.
So
because
like
that's like real life, isn't it? Like when you're running really fast, you build up momentum, and you don't come to a grinding halt, do you? You kind of takes a while to slow down. And is that what?
Yeah. So if I was being really like a really simple example is, say, running adds 2 momentum per frame, and then while you're on the floor, friction takes away 1 momentum per frame. So if you had a speed of 50 and you stopped running, but you were on the floor, friction would take away 1 momentum every frame. So each frame, your velocity would be 50, 49, 48, subtracted by 1 each frame. And that would mean that you slid around without any inputs and any extra effort. So I think I thought it works, but it is crap. And there's loads of hilarious bugs. I was literally like laughing at how funny it was.
I see it.
Because I kind of fixed it, but there was I had this problem. It's really easy to lose track of, but basically like I haven't figured out a way around this, but because I'm subtracting friction every frame, if I want to run at a certain speed, I have to run at that speed plus friction. Does that make sense?
No.
So if say I want my running speed to be 20, I want the player to move at 20 when it's running.
Yeah.
Or accelerate at 20, then I need my acceleration to be 7 higher. I gotta
go. All right.
All right, I gotta go.
Okay. All right. End of stream. Goodbye, everybody.
Sorry. Bye.
Bye.